in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and Eagles. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league and halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Under center, it'll be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3, usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On second down, Darnold. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Eagles have recovered.
What part did they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one down near the 15. The numbers for him from a week ago. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
And they'll go on the ground. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds, right around the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
He's going to get it running right. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
5 plays there on that drive. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a... day for you.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45.
Here we go now. Boom,
On 1st down, Darnold. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Back to throw, Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. He's at the 30. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit.
Yes.
Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. We focus our attention now on T.Y. Hilton as he gets ready to head back onto the field. There's a lot of talk in training camp about him getting off to a hot start this year, saying that they needed that. Well, he's done it through the first month.
kind of reminds me of one of those great musical groups where one person has their name out front, then they have the backups, right? He's the guy out front because the backups, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, but we're going to the headliner each and every time. And that's not easily done because, you know, all the defenses are kicking towards him right now. That means he's fighting his way through traffic, finding ways to get open, even when he's not supposed to be.
The numbers for Woods last week: 4 catches, 68 yards.
And what we just saw there was exactly what they need against this defense. Big plays. They were able to pick up a first down on that one.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
That's 2 really good stops in a row. Back-to-back tackles for losses. I mean, let's face it, they are locked into what they're doing offensively. And now they've earned the right to rush the passer on third down, haven't they?
Yeah, and offensively, they're going to have to do something else because the run game, at least on this drive, isn't working. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And an alley to run. And they'll get him down up past the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
They go play action here on first down. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Let's find 2. 82. Kill. Down the man inside.
To throw is Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Gordon. A good pickup there, a 22.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Not a whole lot of room to run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the great move. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
Now Wentz. eluding the pressure right. Gets it to Gordon. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wentz. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Trade 15.
Wentz. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gordon. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it.
Kill. 74.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Oh, now he bowls him over. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage. Drive.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
No move to get the offense off the field here. They've converted once on this drive. On 4th, they'll go again and try it once more. And on the ground they go with the running back. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And that will force a turnover. On downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Now let's go. Boom,
And they'll run it here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coach would always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Room here to run. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And they'll go on the ground. And he will get the first down as he's up to the 20-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Oh, nearly picked. Almost intercepted, but he couldn't hang on, and it's 3rd down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
And he's got his man Hilton. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's got this down to the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Here's Darnold. And he's got Decker, left side. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Darnold from the gun. A dump underneath to Jones. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his leg to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Well, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Kill. No.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Open space inside the 10. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Elliott now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will lose gains yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319. Hot.
So all right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Go, go, go. Hey, run it. Run. Yeah, baby. Boom. Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
Now a play fake. Wentz going deep for Hopkins. This is caught at the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They give them a gain of 38. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out. But a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And on the ground they go with a running back. He stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. The Eagles on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Bobby McCain. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. Well, they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And they'll run it here. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air.
Let's go.
But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 49 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10.
Check, Patriot! Patriot! Here we go now. Blue, line it!
On 1st and 10, Darnold. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bucs are able to cut into that deficit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of
rush coming, and he's taken down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. On play action, Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Down the man inside, down the man.
They fake the give. Now Wentz dancing to his left. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he finally goes out of bounds across the opposite 40. A big play there for the Eagles on 3rd down. And even 40 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
81.
Wentz now on 1st down. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. Wentz now on 1st down. Completes it to Ajayi. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Come on now, let's go. Kill.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Green 30.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They run a draw here on 2nd down. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Darnold on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
This is taken at the 18. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. A 3rd quarter score now from MetLife Stadium. And really pouring it on now are the Falcons. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Throwing on first is Wentz. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain of 32 that time. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
On the ball.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive, and when you have a bad, they spiral into more.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
To throw on second down is Darnold. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Boom, landed.
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I think we should put a stopwatch on that one. You talk about having all day to throw the football, able to scan the field, find someone open after a long time. Big-time credit to the offensive line for protection. That's what we used to call it.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw, Darnold. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here's Darnold. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
14, 82, 14.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And not much room to operate as they'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And on the ground they go with the running back. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz forced out to his left. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Levante David. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Drops it to Jones in the flat. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Darnold now on second down. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Wide open receiver complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. A first down throw, Darnold. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Darnold hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Zach Cunningham coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he can't quite corral it defensively. Maybe some space to go the other direction if he had caught it. That brings up 4th down now.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Here we go now.
4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9.
Jay Ajayi's going to go. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jay Ajayi, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. So their backs were against the wall, deep back in their own territory, and they run it all the way down into the end zone.
That takes a lot of coordination for an offensive team, doesn't it? Because, let's face it, it's really not a surprise that they're going to run the ball in that situation. Backed up that close to their own end zone, usually do call running plays, trying to be safe. Instead, it turns into an electrical run, a bolt for your team, and off he goes to the races.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And we take some time to spotlight T.Y. Hilton now. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And it's second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, line it.
Second down and 10, Darnold. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 32. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Eddie Jackson picks it. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. Boy, people are really happy about those picks. Any fantasy team that has this defense.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that. But it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham. The Bucs on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
Darnold on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Darnold now to throw. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. Showed the nice footwork and then hit and dropped shy of the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Green, 39.
Again, Darnold. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. To the air again, Darnold. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Now it's Darnold. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. In for the score. The Bucs are able to close the gap just a bit. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Santos with the extra point. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here. But let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the Eagles dodge a bullet. They cover it up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
Analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one goes for 24 yards.
And they just hit another big completion there, and I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me, and I think a lot of it's...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. As his guys are in for 6, and the Eagles add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This fielded at the 2. Bust through the tackle. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it second down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. First down, Darnold. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Set!
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Over the middle, here it's Hilton. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. Throwing here on third down, Darnold. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head. Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve. And this is caught at the 8. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Kill.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. One of the fun parts about working with you is that we've learned that there are different ways to do things than the way we were brought up to do them. This is Madden. Of course they were going to go ahead and get another score. What do you mean take a knee?
And that just makes the final margin even more lopsided. I think they earned themselves a cold drink from the fridge, right?
There's no doubt about it.
Maybe some pretzels, too, some hummus. Go crazy.
See, we've learned.
Go crazy.
We have learned the Madden way of doing things.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Philadelphia, They're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town.